All right, everyone, welcome back to yet another episode of the ICA show. A little bit off cycle. We have it on a Saturday instead of a Sunday this time, but for good reason, because Grandmaster Elshan Moradiabadi is back with us. Elshan, how are you doing tonight?
So good to see Alan. It's so good to see everyone. Happy to be here. It's been a while since I had done my workout, so I feel a little bit rusty there. But when it comes to chess, I'm all set to go.
All right, so before this Thursday, I couldn't recommend your classes because I've never actually been to your class. But this Thursday, it changed, and I can say, wow, it was very intense, very good flow. I recommend it. How do you think I did in your class?
You did well. I mean, given your rating and the difficulty of the class, again, we have to say that this is for serious players. And I mean, we had another 1200 class which we didn't go through this time, but our 1600 class, we have guys are kicking, they're working hard, they get better every time, and it's for serious players. So if you're up for doing 1.5 hours of intense chess, welcome to the class. I'm looking forward to see more players in the future semester.
All right, let's get right into it. So the topic of today's show is yesterday, two of our players, David Milstein, whose game we're going to show, along with Thomas Holder, who was yesterday's host. Those two players made an analysis of a match. It was a match of nationals. So I expected it would be a 20-minute analysis. Elshan, guess how long their analysis went?
2 hours?
Almost. 1 hour, 20 minutes. It was a very long analysis, 1 hour, 20 minutes. So what we're going to do, we're going to analyze the game ourselves. And then once there's a key move, you're going to give your thoughts. And then I'm going to go to the YouTube channel, show their analysis. And from there, we will analyze their analysis pretty much. So I share the screen. Elshan, take it away.
Okay. So David has white or black, by the way?
David is white.
Okay. So we have Alapin Sicilian, d5. This is the main line, knight f6. I am not so sure about this. Is that okay if I use the Leech's engine or no? You don't want me to use that? Sorry, not Leech's. Sorry, just.com engine. I'm sorry. Just.com engine. Okay.
You can turn the engine on, yeah.
I actually don't know how to do that. I just want to avoid blunders. I don't care about the evaluation. But this move, knight f6, doesn't seem right to me. But it seems that the engine is okay with it, but it's low depth. I know c4 is not good because after c4, e6, black is doing good because after this capture, black gets enough compensation with the move knight c6 to, how do I, there are arrows, yes, this and this is square. So it doesn't look so great, but so knight f6 is playable, but I'm not so sure that if it's great. And again, the depth is low. There could be things like this one, check. Let's say knight d7 and then c4 because now e6 is not possible because after d6 f e6 then it's not as great, although my queen is misplaced on a4. So bishop d7, queen b3, queen b6. I don't know. I'm sure we cannot hold on to this pawn, but it doesn't look so nice for black. So I'm not so sure if I like the move d4 because d4 is just a transposition after the move. Okay, not that move. I don't like that move. I like queen d5 better. It's like a transposition, but knight d5. Okay, that's interesting. What did they say about knight d5? Can you just see what did they say about knight d5?
All right, knight d5. That's move number 4. So that's at timestamp 503.
Mm-hmm.
And tell me if you hear the audio. Tell me if you hear the audio when I turn it on.
I cannot hear anything.
Do you hear?
Nothing.
No audio?
No idea for me yet. Okay, what did they say?
It would help if the video would not glitch.
Maybe you can listen to it and then tell me what did they say.
I mean, it would be much better if we would be able to see their analysis because they'd want to see their faces. But at the same time, if it glitches again, then I'll do it.
All
which
right,
I'm really, yeah. All right, which means I have to pull it up on my phone.
Okay. In the meantime, everyone, Gukesh is winning and he's taking the lead in the candidates. A lot of new stuff in the chess world. And Fabian is completely winning.
All right, so we did move 4 for black. queen, but then he takes with the knight. And at this point, I was kind of thinking that in a couple of other lines, c4 d5 is a thing. All right, so this is one of the lines that David did not go into at all. He just accepted that he took with the knight, and that's it. He did not go into that line.
Yeah, so it's a big decision actually, knight takes d5. So maybe that's what it is, being a GM and not being a GM, not being cocky. Just it's not like a game changer or anything, but it's an important decision that taking with the queen or taking with the knight. So I don't know. I mean, engine analysis is a must and needed, but yeah. So all right, let's keep going. Then I'm gonna continue. So knight d5, c4. Okay, I do not know if I like that move. D c5 is interesting. E6, and then after knight f3, we have some sort of a French defense position, but he can recoup very quickly. This is interesting. CD4, this, and then CD4 it's a thematic position in IQP. All right. But I have a weird feeling about this position. I don't know. I think d4 is probably not good because probably queen a4 was a must by white, and now black is just really fine after d4 after this. So knight d5, c4. I don't know if I like this move. Knight f6, d5, and then e6. So now black is really good here now. Knight c3, bishop d6. I don't know if I like this move. What did they say about ed5 versus bishop d6 right away? Although
ed5 especially.
Yeah, no, it's not a big deal actually. It's not a big deal. I mean, anyways, we go bishop d6 first, and after bishop d6, oh, sorry, not that move. After bishop to d6, then we take on d5 later. So bishop d6, knight f3. All right, here I believe that. Okay, what do I believe here? Let me see. What do I believe? So, Alan, what do you think? I think here. I like this better. He takes d5. Okay, cd5 is absolutely incorrect because we go castle and then we have a very simple plan as black. We could go. How can I draw an arrow? Okay, how can I draw an arrow? On
you with right click, you press and drag. You press with your right arrow, right click, and you drag. Yeah.
Okay, this, and then this going. Yeah, I mean this knight and then going e5. So that is the way to go. So absolutely not cd5, but knight takes d5. I don't know. Knight takes d5, queen takes d5, queen e7 check, bishop e2, bishop e6, queen e4, knight c6. Yeah, looking good for black. So castle first. I don't think it makes a huge difference. Okay, castle first. Bishop g5. E takes d5. What did they say about h6 here? This is move 9. What did they say about h6?
All right, move number 9. That is timestamp 8:53. Let me go to that right now.
Okay. Okay. What did they say? I cannot hear it. I cannot hear it. What did they say, Alan?
You can't hear the audio at all?
I cannot hear it at all. No.
All right, so basically what they said was he just took for granted that he just didn't mention h6. He just mentioned that the pawn took, and he just gave more of an insight of it's more important how he takes rather than the fact that h6 was not played. Instead, it was taken.
Well, it's a big difference because when you play ed5, and obviously knight d5 is the only move, and then I go, let's say, rook e8 or knight d7, for example, bishop e2. And now if I go h6, then bishop h4. But if I go start with the move h6, bishop h4, uh, ed5, knight d5. The difference is that here I have g5, maybe, and then after this, capture. This doesn't work because of the check on e7, which loses the game for him because of this and something like rook d8. Because I cannot castle because this bishop's hanging, we're losing. So this g5 makes a whole lot of difference. So here I have a feeling that okay, cd5, rook e8. So this opens the door for a totally different position to play, and I feel that he could consider this a little bit different. But anyways, he wanted a simple position, so we play d5. cd5, but that's a bad move. That's definitely a bad move. Knight d5 was a must. So rook check, bishop e2, a6. Yes, it's a thematic move, controlling the b5 square, trying to play b5. I would still throw an h6 first and then play a6. Okay, I don't like b6. No, no. This is a must question because bishop h4. So here, did they even discuss h6 here?
For 12 black?
Yes.
Alright, let me check, and hopefully this time I can get the audio to work. Look for share audio checkbox on the next window. Share
Okay.
screen. Share tab audio.
Okay.
Always share. Alright. Hopefully this will work.
Okay. I'm not hearing anything.
Yeah, the video's not on yet. Alright, so 12 black. Timestamp 12:35.
A6.
Do you hear
Exactly.
it?
I'm not sure whether this was more about playing b5 or about stopping me from going to b5. That was not about to take the chance that he'd go b5. And I did kind of have my eyes on pushing my pawn to a5, so I played a4 here. And here, he clearly did not want me to go to a5, so he played b6. And here, in the game, I saw a somewhat unusual idea of rook lifting that a8 rook to a7 and then e7. I don't know
Okay,
whether
I mean, they completely ignore h6, which is an important move because if bishop e3, you just go knight g4, and if they go bishop h4, bishop g4, castles knight d7 with queen c7, and it looks very convenient to play on e5 square and all the dark squares. So I'm feeling a little bit baffled at why they don't even consider that. So b6 is a normal move, but it's very slow. So castle knight d7. Now I'm just stop that. So black's not playing so well. Rook e1 is normal move by white. Bishop b7 and bishop c4. Obviously, move queen c2 is critical to consider if it's possible because you want to keep more pieces on the board. But bishop c4 is nevertheless an okay move. And then rook e1, queen e1, queen c7, queen f1. Okay, I'm not so sure if I like this move because you are giving this maneuver knight g4, knight e5. I don't like this move at all. I would probably be more inclined to play the move h3 or play queen to d2. But again, there's knight g4 actually. So
So in this case, Elshan, the players actually don't agree with you. They were speaking about how this is a really good move, and this is something that I would like to show you right now.
okay.
Analysis, but let's get back to end. What did your opponent play here?
he's trading rooks. I take the queen. He goes queen c7. And here, I'm kind of afraid of rook e8. And so I come up with what I feel like is what I felt like was kind of a clever move. And I don't think the computer agrees with me on this one. But I played queen f1. The idea being I want to pressure a6 and make way for my rook on e1.
Yeah, it actually looks like a really good move. I mean,
And
it seems like such a strong move. You're going to improve the rook next move. You tie down his rook and bishop. Yeah, I really like queen f1. I think it's a.
here's a question for you, though.
All right. Back to you.
Well, I think what I was saying is the opposite, right? I was saying that Queen F1 is not a good move.
Hmm.
So because I don't like the idea of knight G4, knight D5, so I like to move H3 better. That would be my move. And the engine says bishop H4. I don't get what does this move do, but H3 seems like a move to me. So rook E8, Queen D2, H6, and rook E1. It's balanced, but I think white is being overly ambitious playing the move Queen F1. Knight G4, H3, Knight D5. Yeah, we're not. Then he says 0, but I don't believe that. This is more convenient as black. Takes. Okay, bishop e5. I don't like that move. Why not just normal knight e5 taking the bishop? I don't understand this move, bishop e5. What did they say about bishop takes e5 versus knight takes e5?
All
That's
right,
what this mistake. Yeah.
right, here we go. 19 white.
Mhm.
I feel like he's kind of broken out, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So now, of course, probably have the trade. I mean,
Yeah, I do.
bishop 2, he just takes an f3 and puts the other knight on e5.
Yeah, that would not have made me very happy.
Yeah.
I mean, I might be able to make it work and then go something like this, where he goes knight e5, and then I play bishop e4. That's
Yeah.
probably okay.
Looks reasonable.
Yeah, I feel like at this point, though, I stopped thinking about this game in terms of I'm better, how do I press my advantage, as opposed to how do I make the right move and end up not worse.
Mhm. Yeah. I don't think you're worse, but it does certainly feel like black might be okay. But okay, so you traded on e5.
Yes, and for some reason that I'm not really sure about, he took the bishops. He took the bishop. Any idea on that? Because it just seems a little bit fishy. Why not take with the knight?
Yeah, honestly, no real idea for me. If you take with the knight, I mean, this looks great. Either you play bishop e2 or bishop like b3 maybe, but then black can centralize the rook.
Yeah, he has.
Knight.
Well, I'd definitely go back to e2 so he can't centralize the knight. Thank you, queen f1. But I feel like still here, he just...
Maybe c4 is interesting.
And
c4 is interesting.
I mean, if something like f4, maybe black is potentially one.
So what did they say about bishop takes c5? I don't hear that. I don't.
They just immediately said how it was not a good move, and then they just played around with variations of how knight takes is much better. They just immediately.
Yeah, I saw the 95. Okay, they were on board, so they understood that.
Immediately discarded. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's good. So okay, yeah, knight d5 makes more sense. Bishop e5 is a little bit off. So bishop e5, rook e1, good. Yeah, knight e5, bishop e2, h6, h6, bishop e3, knight d7, trying to put pressure on d1, rook d1, knight f6. Yeah, and then you see now I cannot make progress. Like I cannot play moves like g4 because like rook e8, bishop h2 check. I mean, I can do maybe things like this, maybe, huh? Like this. This pawn becomes vulnerable. So, and if I go play like bishop f3, then my bishop has left is a square, so a6 is not attacked anymore. So I can just move my rook to e8. So, excuse me, sorry about that, Alan. Okay, so can you see me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go. Bishop e5, rook e1, h6, bishop e7. So Bishop d6. Okay, so Alan, I want to ask you a question. What is now clearly better? Like bishop d6 is a mistake. He had to at least go check here and then win a tempo against this king. Now this is clearly better for us. So Alan, we talked. If you remember in my class, we talked about evaluation and how to handle a position, all of that. Remember that you first have to start calculating with that. What has it clearly worse
Yeah.
is that like white has a clear plan to play. Let's say with queen e2 as he played, king f8. This is really good for white. Now I want to tell me why white is better now. What happened with the trade of a pair of knight and the dark square bishop? What makes white better in a better position now compared to the when the pieces were on the board? What do you think?
Well, I think what makes white better is the open file is clearly better, more piece activity. The knight has more potential in the setter, especially the one on c3 can hop to e4 eventually, has potential there.
So this bishop is bad, and we agree on that, right? This pawn is a hassle. Now the queen is
Yeah.
blocked. You know, you want to use the knight to block a pawn. We know all of us. We know that this knight is the best piece for that. Our knight can jump to this square and attack the queen. It's uncomfortable, and the e file is in our control. So black lost a lot of tempi, and let us seize the initiative to get to this position. So 94 is played by white. What did they discuss here? Because this is a critical moment. And I don't see white's winning or something, but I wonder what they were thinking about this move 24 white.
All right, move 24 white. Move 24 white, 46.55.
Or anything, but this is probably an opening I could press for the win in. Don't know whether I'd get it, but
I can't hear them well. So what do you say?
Uh,
Yeah.
Can you go
Sure,
back
I
to
mean, you
some
control
position?
the E
Which position?
file. Yeah. But okay, so maybe b3 is a move, but all right, you played queen e2 first.
yeah. Just prevents
All right,
me
here we
from
go.
infiltrating with e7. And so now I play knight e4. And my logic behind this is, once again, that bishop on c4, despite having been moved from e2, still manages to be my worst piece. And really, anywhere I put it on the board,
I can't hear it. It froze.
Yeah.
All right, but he understood that he's slightly better, so that's good. I wanted to know
Yeah.
what they think. So we're on board with them as well.
going to be bad.
Okay, so we're good.
So
Okay,
I
we can
feel like
hold
if I'm going to improve it, it means get that part.
That's okay. That's okay. I mean, I wanted to see that what's their understanding. So they were doing a good job with their understanding. So that's good. So you can hold on that. Alan, are you with me?
Yeah. Now I need to pause it. I need to pause it because my screen is almost. My screen is freezing.
Okay, you
All
have
right,
to do
here we
that.
go. All
94.
right, we're back.
Okay, there d6. I mean, that again, queen e5 made more sense. I don't understand why he didn't go queen e5. This d6, queen. He went for this. Okay, that's very dangerous. That's black's plan is very dangerous. Now white has real winning chances because well, that's a winning against. He's not winning, but he has no practical chances because now this bishop is a monster. It looks this way and it also looks this way. Does it make sense? Alan, you feed me? Hello, Alan? 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 Hello? I hope you're hearing me. So this rook is kind of stuck to this pawn, and if I go a5, I'm getting a lot of weak scores, and I can just have a clear plan of going forward with these pawns here, like f4, g4, g5, and then bring the king to the queen side over here. So I have a clear plan now to play. So black has to play very concretely. Rook e8 is a concrete move. Also, it's a forced move because you have to stop rook e7, capture bishop a6, king d8. Wow. There and then knight f8. Okay, that's passive. Again, knight e5 makes more sense. Mm-hmm. So yeah, there. I think that here, I don't think it's still white is winning, but white has very good winning chances here. Alan, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Alan?
can you hear me?
Yes.
Elshan?
So yeah, yes, I can hear you. So and here, I think it's a very critical moment, and I think this is a mistake because that kind of no, this is not the way you play this position. What did you discuss over here? What did you discuss over this move? On move 31.
Right, move 31.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just get the video to load.
One to go. I want to win the end game. I can't let him get there.
Right, my other screen is completely glitched out, so I have to do it off of here.
Okay, just look, just see what they are saying.
I played 96, which immediately.
Yeah. All right. Tell me if you can hear this.
Taking my king from e2 because take e2.
Can you hear them?
Knight d4 check. And then he wins the pawn back, and my king's a little more active, but not enough, and my pawns are. Yeah, this is.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Stop it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The depth is not going up, so I cannot really trust this evaluation. But okay, sorry, that's just losing. I think. Is this losing or not?
At that
Right, Elshan, I think we got it.
point, he was headed for d6. So I want to win the end game. I can't let him get there.
I don't know. Is this losing or not? Let me just check.
And now I play knight e6, which immediately is blocked.
I think it's still winning to me. It's very. There's a lot of lesson in this one for us, Alan. Can you hear me?
For sure. Yeah.
So let me see if I can put in a zigzag. So h4, let's say g6, or maybe h5 even. b3, g6, f4.
My king from
Another
e2.
this, a5 wins. Okay, so that endgame is winning. So that means that there's no knight e6, so he must play f6. Bishop back b5, knight e6, king e2, knight e4 check, king d3. Let's just see if we have a winning chance here, because now my king can try to go there. So if take. Oh, I lose to this move. Okay, I cannot do that. So it says h4, king e6, h5, and it's a draw. So I don't want to deal with that. Let me see, Alan. So king e1. Let's just see knight d4, bishop c here, king d7, king d2, king d6, king c3. Slightly better. So wow, surprisingly, that endgame is not winning. So black did a fantastic job holding that position. So I wonder, is there any other way we can play for the win here? This is so surprising for me. It is so. I am so flabbergasted, Alan. So flabbergasted. I cannot believe that this is not a good winning chance. Like what really cannot do even anything. It's so drawish. Okay, well, it is what it is. I guess we learn and live, huh? So king goes here, knight f8. He played bishop b5. Okay, this is not the way to play it. Bishop a4. Okay, now I mean he's playing with fire. I mean, why doesn't he bring his king to the game? Okay, there. Knight f5. Now he's in trouble. Not losing trouble, but he is in trouble. Okay, he didn't go knight h4. I don't know. That doesn't matter. It's just that's in chess. All right, what is g6? What is g6? He's giving this a square. Couldn't he just take on d7 here? Oh, sorry. I went to the end of the position, end of the game. So here, couldn't you just take this pawn? Wow, king c4, we're losing. Or it's just bad. Wow, Alan. What a position, huh? Wow. King e7, king d3, g6, king e4, f6. I don't like what black is doing. F4 is good. I like h4 as well in here. F6, f4. Okay, I like h4 better because I want to go h5 and then get this square to go. Um, f4, okay, g5. Wow, he gave me the square actually. Capture, b3, zigzag, c4. I don't see why I should like that move. Just so much this move maybe, but okay, c4, captures, knight here a4, and now we are having problem. a3, king c3, h5, king. I don't see why do I need to trade pawns. You with me, Alan? I don't hear you. Can you hear me, Alan?
I can hear you.
Yeah. So I don't see
Elshan?
why. Yes. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah?
All right. So I don't see why do I need to play g3. We just go king b3. But okay, here, there, looks winning, completely winning. All right. This is where you have to learn about. I'm sure they figured this one parts out perfectly. So you have to learn that you have to use the king for promoting material. So this is what probably he missed. And he probably didn't see that this is winning. It's very hard to see it from afar, yeah, right, Alan? Because you put the bishop on h1 and you play c6, and you have to kind of have time to calculate this one. So you probably missed this one. Do you want to check move 52? And I want to see what they say.
Right, move 52. I
Why
will
white?
check right now,
Why
and
white's
I'll actually
move
make the
52?
what I'll do. I'll check on my phone.
Okay, let's
Yes,
see what they
I
say.
will make the moves on the board. So 1 1 4 3 5.
The pod. I just completely underestimated the even though it should knight moving down to f4.
Well, yeah. Hold on. Yeah. Okay.
Even though it should still be
So here he played after knight f4. He gave the simulation of c5.
here.
Yeah, but you're
Knight
pushing the
takes
pawn. Knight
here.
f4. Yeah. Okay.
Knight back.
And here I make the move that
Did they even talk about king
make
c5?
the computer hates me for it.
I'm
Did
trying
they
to find
talk
it.
As
about
it's a
c5?
It's a
draw
big-
now after bishop f1. King c5 would have been completely winning.
As David Milstein just said, king c5 would have been completely winning.
Yeah, it would have.
Because
But they have to spend time to analyze it because it's not an easy one. So they're being a bit sloppy with this. So
King c5.
like you'd probably get a queen after king.
But so he said that king c5 is completely winning, but he didn't do it right away. Instead, he did it after a simulation of c5, knight takes, c6, knight back, and then he spoke about king c5.
yeah, this still they have to go forward because now if they go h3, there is c7 wins the game, and if they go move like king c5, if they go knight e6 check, king b6, king d8, and now bishop f1. But it's a story of can I make it? How can I win this position? I mean, they say it's winning, but you have to know how it's winning. It's not just oh you say it's winning, so it's winning. Let's say I go bishop g2, bishop knight e6. Here you have to put him in a zugzwang, I think. So you can go bishop g2, knight e6 again. Okay, how do we win this, Alan? I think this is the way to win. No, I cannot do a zugzwang. So Let me see. This. No. What about this? This. Check there, 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 there. Make sense?
Hmm. Yeah. Right there.
Mhm.
All right. Let's keep going.
Okay. In the game, White made a mistake, played Bishop F1 too early, and that gives him the chance to. For I mean, now you have to give up the bishop because H2 comes with a threat, so that's the blunder. I'm sure they catch this one. Bishop F1. He and the knight just comes back right in time. I think he missed that. It's going to be a draw, and then he's lucky that it's only a draw, and he lost a piece. So quite a close match actually. White came very close to win the game. Quite interesting actually. I might get a position or two for next class. Actually, I will teach. I don't know when is my end game class, but I could use this content for one of the classes. Actually, quite an interesting game for me. I liked it. This was a good game. Was this an online game or was it
Yeah,
from
for sure,
the?
it was a very good game, and actually, it was
What's
in
that?
person at the Nationals. This was an in-person game.
Yeah, because David played against me in the nationals.
This
in
was
the cat the Simon.
Yeah, and then this was like 2 days later in one of the middle rounds. This was a game,
Uh-huh.
and Elshan, he actually won this game. It was not a draw, he won due to a flag from the opponent.
Wow, that's interesting. What was his opponent's rating?
Yeah. National Master
What was-
rating, so like around 2200.
Wow, that's great because
David-
David is 1800, right?
Yeah, it's around 1850.
Wow, that's a massive achievement. Congratulations to David for
Yeah.
this win. That's nice.
Congratulations to David, for sure.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest summary for today's show, not related to anything chess related, I have to install a new router in my room because my Wi-Fi sucks.
Well, we need to come up with some new stuff. It was interesting. It was an interesting game. I will look into it and maybe we'll see how we can discuss and further analyze this. If this was a very interesting game, I may spend some time analyzing it and maybe can put my analysis on the website. So everybody here, I don't promise, but if I have time, I'll analyze and I'll put it on the website.
All right, Elshan. Thank you so much for everything today.
Of course, my
And-
pleasure. But it just is very interesting, just very for me. I see that chess has become so delicate and so difficult, and yeah, I hope we can have if other students are having some interesting games like this. We would love to see those games and analyze it for them, and we can all learn from it.
All right. Yeah, for sure. I will bring you back, but first I have to bring a router into my room, and then we'll do analysis with live reactions.
All right, sounds good. Take care.
Take care, Elshan.
Bye bye.
All right. So this concludes the show. Thank you to everyone for watching. Unfortunately, we had some Wi-Fi problems, so we couldn't get enough of Thomas and David, even though they provided a beautiful analysis of this game, 1 hour, 20 minutes. So I encourage everybody to go watch that video after we finish the show. I hope to see as many people as possible tomorrow for the Dr. House Memorial ICA Championships. And when Elshan starts his fall semester, hope to see you guys sign for his class, both for the Future Master 1200 and for the Master 1600. And until then, I will see you next Sunday.